Instant gratification, ladies. Is that about controlling yourself? What do you think?
I'm going to say no. Absolutely not.
We got to know here why.
Because if you are trying to control yourself, you are white knuckling yourself through an experience. And while it may work in the one time that you're doing it, it is not a formula for success. I believe that when you want to have things like having a drink, having a piece of chocolate cake, wanting to scroll on Instagram for the next half hour,
So far, all my
it is
favorites.
it is typically because we are trying to avoid a feeling. And that feeling generally is either procrastination, it's boredom, or it's simply discomfort. And because we don't know what to do with it, we give in to doing the thing that we don't want to do because our brain knows how to do that really well. And it's like, this is going to feel good in like, you're going to feel so good. Like, take that first sip of that wine, you are going to feel so good. Have that bite of chocolate cake, you're going to feel great. Oh, it's only 5 minutes, just scroll for 5 minutes. And then it's like 3 hours later, you're still scrolling.
But you
Right.
don't
And
feel good though.
you do in that very instant that you do it. You get a dopamine hit, and that's actually tells your brain you got to keep doing it. That worked, that worked over and over and over again for that 1 millisecond. Because you're right, you don't. You have the glass of wine, and then you sit there and you berate yourself for having the glass of wine. I wasn't going to do this. I didn't want to do this. Why am I doing this? You have the piece of chocolate cake and you're like, I didn't want to do that. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing this? Right? But your brain got satisfied in the instant. And then what we do is, in order to make ourselves feel better for those moments, we go back and do it again. And then we create this endless loop. And we are creating, I honestly believe we're in a society where instant gratification is such a thing that we need to feel good all the time in the moment. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I'm going to buffer against those emotions by doing something else. And everything else is so available. We aren't learning how to just sit and be with the discomfort, to go, yeah, man, this feels crappy. I really want the chocolate cake, man. I don't like, I'm getting angry because I can't have it. I'm getting pissed off. I'm getting frustrated, and just let it all happen. Because on the other side of that is the win.
Yeah, but we didn't grow up with instant gratification. We learned
Exactly.
it then.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we were taught like everything was put, do the hard work now and then get this. So we're learning
Exactly.
it just like everyone else. We're
Because
teaching
now,
ourselves, I should say. We're
yeah.
teaching ourselves.
And I think what's happened is because we have a natural tendency as humans to want things to be easy,
Yeah.
and to want things to be instant,
Comfortable. Yeah.
instant, happy. We want that, right? And every time you look at a picture on social media, it's a dopamine hit. Literally, you release chemicals in your brain that says this feels good, feels good, feels good, feels good, right? The moment you take the glass of wine or beer or whatever, it's like, feels good. Eat the cake, eat the chips, whatever it is, feels good. It doesn't afterwards, but in that moment, it does. It's like the guy shooting heroin. It's like he doesn't want to shoot heroin for the rest of his life, but in that moment, it feels good. That's what he needs. Right in that moment, I got to feel good. I can't live through this discomfort. I mean, and that's to an extreme extent, of course, but I think that is part of the problem that we need to work through within ourselves, is to just sit and go, okay, this is what boredom feels like. It's okay to be bored. I don't need to do something to not be bored.
But isn't that controlling it then?
No, it's just sitting with it, because controlling it is like, is like, I'm not going to be bored. I'm not going to be bored. I'm not going to be bored. I'm not going to drink the drink. I'm not going to have the chocolate. I'm not going to have the chocolate. No, 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 not doing it, not doing it, not doing it. Oh my God. Going to bed, got through that. And yes, I mean, that will work in a moment, but that is not something that you can continually do and grow through.
Grow through.
Because what you need to discover is, okay, yeah, the chocolate cake is sitting there and I really want it. I'm just going to sit with this.
Right. I think one of the things too, if you're saying that chocolate cake is there, that glass of wine's there, that I want to go out and spend, I don't know, buy a
Online
new dress
shopping.
or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
I deserve this. I was good. I think we
That's
get
another
into
one.
that. Well, you know, I was good today, so tomorrow I'll run an extra 2 miles. I'm having this chocolate cake. If your goal is to be physically fit, if that's where you want your life to be, your daily life to be physically fit, that's a work. That's work in progress. That is the things. If you're looking for, I think when I think of instant gratification, it is, I'm going to, and I'm not picking on anything, I'm going to take, I'm not going to even say the name brand, but you can take these pills that help you, lose fat.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't work. Like, come on, people. You have to have a cleaner diet. You have to move your body. You have to also love your body. You have to understand your metabolism. The instant gratification is not losing 10 pounds in 7 days. That's an unhealthy thing. A quick scheme to make money is an instant gratification.
Yeah.
It takes work. You know, I chose.
But you're bombarded with every message is saying that the opposite. Saying
Oh,
the
sure,
exact
'cause-
opposite.
You are.
Yeah, because
You
society, that's exactly what we're told to do.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to feel better, do online shopping, scroll
Yep.
Instagram, eat all the stuff that you say you don't want to eat. Because here's the
Mhm.
problem: is that you then start to live out of integrity with yourself, and that's what becomes the problem. And that's where all the damage gets done, because there's no growth when you're not living in integrity. It's hard to live in integrity with yourself. It's
Right.
hard to turn around in the morning and go, today is going to be a non-chocolate cake day. I'm not having any chocolate today, period. None. That's what I've decided to do. And then to carry that through.
Yeah.
That's accountability, it's integrity. It's hard to do that.
And there's
Especially
also,
if the kids are screaming. Sorry, Michelle.
Yeah.
You think of all the reasons why we go to all of these things to make us instantly feel good.
Mm.
I deserve it. I've had a hard day. Oh my God, the kids are screaming. Somebody just give me a glass of wine. Or the boss has just given me these deadlines. I don't think I can handle this. Where's the cake?
Yep.
Right? It's like we do it to get away from whatever that emotional stressor is, instead of dealing with the emotional stressor. Because if you can deal with the emotional stressor, you can deal with anything.
That's the point. There's 2 points I wanted to bring up. One, I have somebody that I know that she says every time I tell myself, today I'm going to eat good, I'm not going to have that chocolate bar. She's like, that's all that's in my brain. It's like this little voice. But you deserve the chocolate bar. Who's going to know? Just have that one chocolate bar. You want that. And when we dug deep, there was this underlying self-sabotage from her past. So when you talk about, Tracy, there's an underlying issue. We don't want to know what that underlying issue is. I just want that chocolate bar and I'm going to have it.
Mhm.
I drove to Florida with a dog 2 days. Literally, when I walked in the door, I walked right over to, I had to put something in the fridge, and there were like 3 bottles of wine. And here's me. Oh, you know what? I just drove for 2 days. I deserve this glass of wine. What a hell of a thing. And I went to grab it, and I'm like, wait a minute. I have not had a drink in almost a full year. And within a second, because I wanted that gratification,
Mm.
because I had a tough drive, I
And
was
you
going to
deserved
pull it.
it.
I deserved it.
Mm.
And I went and put sneakers on, put the leash on the dog, and we went for a long walk, because that was another healthier way for me to relieve that stressful situation in it, instead of that instant gratification. When I think of instant gratification, I think of, you have a goal to save money, to lose weight, to start a new business, to whatever it is. And now you're getting out of your comfort zone and you want to pacify you feeling bad. So I deserve to have that piece of cake. I ran extra today. I deserve to have that wine. I drove for 2 days straight with a dog. I deserve to go out and do some online shopping. I saved for the last 3 weeks. Who's going to miss this 4th week? Like you said, Tracy, you're living out of the integrity with yourself.
And
That's the hardest thing.
and what you said earlier off camera was that when we talked about, you got to feel bad in order to feel the good too.
Yeah.
You've got to have some
You
of the
do.
lows to experience the highs, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, we all think that the ultimate goal is to be happy and whatever for every day of your life. But if you were, you would be bored stiff. You wouldn't even know what that meant. Happy. What is happiness? I don't know.
Yep.
I'm on this like even keel, like constantly, right? So you have to have the crap in your life in order to really appreciate all the good stuff.
You know, we're not saying don't go out shopping. I go out shopping with my girlfriend all the time. I do wonderful window shopping because one of my goals is, I have a financial goal. It's like, I do wonderful, but it's not about the shopping. It's about spending the time with that person.
Mm-hmm.
I have wonderful time going out and having dinner with friends. There's some awesome mocktails out there. It's a whole different mindset to pull out, to understand the gratification at the end and watch your growth than that second gratification.
Yeah.
So
if you're
I
doing
agree
it to
with Tracy
avoid something, if you're doing it to avoid something, it's all for the wrong reasons. All for the wrong reasons.
I know, but so how do you build up on your journey of, like, say you are a Instagram scroller and you just go, I don't want to be that person. I want, I'm living my life through someone else's as opposed to living my own life. Do you pen to paper, ladies? Do you have some suggestions of what someone could do to maybe not control it, but to, I don't know, I guess dig deeper? Or
the biggest thing is when you're picking up your phone to scroll, the question that should come to your mind, or this question you need to have written on your phone as your screensaver, is, what am I avoiding? Am I avoiding something because do I have to do something? No, honestly, it's like,
that is
do
awesome.
I have to do something and I don't want to? So you know what? I'm just gonna like look at Instagram for a little bit, or Facebook or whatever, and all of a sudden 45 minutes goes and you're like, oh my God, I got to get on to something different now. And you don't have to do that thing that you didn't really want to do. Like maybe, if you're building an online business and you got to get visible and be on Facebook, or be, do the reels or do the stories or write content, and you're just trying to avoid it all. So that's the question, is, what am I avoiding? If I'm reaching for chocolate cake, or I'm reaching for that bag of chips, what am I avoiding? It's so interesting because when in my very early stages of being a coach, one of the things that I used to do all the time when I was trying to write content is every time I had to try to write content, I'd go, okay, it's time to write content. I'm just going to go to the fridge and check out what's there. Now, that wasn't a conscious thought. It wasn't like I actually thought, oh, I'm going to go to the fridge. But the moment I had to do the content, I would literally get up from my desk and I'd go to the fridge. And I'd open up the fridge and I'd stand there and I'd look around and go, oh, is there anything good here to eat? And oh, maybe I'll have a piece of cheese. And then I'd go get a cracker to have with a piece of cheese. And, you know, all because I don't want to do the content.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? The content's not going to go, that it's not going to get written itself. A little content elf isn't going to show up on my desk and write it for me. Like, it's still all going to be there. But just because I didn't want to do it, that was my avoidance tactic. I was like, I'm going to go visit the fridge. And all of a sudden, I like this big aha moment was like, oh I can't believe this is what I do. This is my pattern of behavior.
Right.
And sometimes you have to like figure out what that is.
Yeah.
And once you do, then it's like, what are you avoiding? What are you avoiding? Put sticky notes on your computer. Put them on the fridge. Put them wherever your so-called demon happens to live. Put that note where that demon lives. What are you avoiding?
And on top of that,
most of the time, it's a bad feeling. Sorry. No,
well, I have a whole time audit process, right? Where you really identify how you spend your time. And you would have caught that because you would have gone, I'm here in front of my desk for 2 hours, but I'm literally in front of my desk for 3 minutes because I've gone up and I've done all this as hundreds of things that exactly that. What was your screensaver
throw the
again?
laundry in the dryer.
What am I avoiding? I'm going to put that
What
up.
am I avoiding?
What am I avoiding?
Yeah, what am I avoiding?
And mine is also, it's a type of avoidance, but it is, so you're going to have that chocolate cake. Why do I want this chocolate cake? Like, why is this slice of chocolate cake that important? So it's, you might not be avoiding something, but you might be suppressing a feeling. You might be feeling boredom. You might be feeling jealousy because you were scrolling and your life isn't as beautiful as everybody else's. You might be, so why? You know, to Tracy's point, why did I just walk to the refrigerator and open the door? Oh, I don't like to write content. I don't want to write content. I hate writing content. Why do you hate writing content? Because nobody looks at my content. Who told you that? Is that a story you're telling yourself? Is that a limiting belief? Are you self-sabotaging?
Or it could have been the opposite. If I write content and people find me, then I have
you.
Yeah, now I have to
what am I
deal with
supposed
them.
to do?
Yeah,
Right.
like it's,
So
you know what I mean?
there
It could be a good thing. Yeah, they'll find me and then they'll want to talk to me and they.
Right.
Fear. It's
Also,
fear.
if you want to look on social media and you enjoy it, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you find yourself scrolling, you set a timer and you honor yourself, hold yourself accountable to the timer. Like, you know what? I've written this content. I want to take a break. I'm going to check out Instagram. I'm setting a timer for 5 minutes. And I'm honoring myself with that 5 minutes. So you still can. You want to have a piece of chocolate cake? Don't have a slice of chocolate cake. Maybe it's one tiny little sliver. I don't think any of us agree you should live in to be depriving yourself. There's nothing like, you cannot, having a piece of chocolate cake, it's not the end of the world. Doing online shopping is not the end of the world. But you have to understand why you're doing it and what you're avoiding or why you're doing it. If you find inspiration for it in looking in social media, then time your social media. If that's why you're looking at it. If you look at social media and you feel awful because your life is not anything by what you see on social media, and we all know social media is so real all the time, then that's when you pull it off. You have to ask those underlying questions.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're going to have the chocolate cake because you want it, not because you deserve it, because you want it and you're going to enjoy it. And you're going to enjoy that cake. And there's going to be no remorse at the end of that last mouthful. There's going to be no beating oneself up because you had it. You're eating the cake because I just going to have the cake. I'm going to experience
Yes.
chocolate cake. I'm going to have my glass of wine because I want to experience my glass of wine. Not because I deserve it, not because I've had a bad day, not because the washing machine's broken and the kids' laundry's all sitting in their pool of water. None of that nonsense. Not because I'm trying to avoid a conversation with my husband, not because I'm bored, so it's something to do. I'm just going to have a glass of wine because I'm going to enjoy it. That
Yep.
is way different an experience than all those other reasons that we do those things. And hey,
But
I'm guilty of sin on all of them. Like I'll be the first one to put my hand up. Done them all. Done every single one of them. You know, use the excuse, I deserve it. It's been a bad day. Oh my God, can't cope anymore. Where's, give me a glass of wine. I can't do this. Like I've done it all. Eaten the cake, the
I'm
chips,
bored.
like all of it. But it is truly transformational when you can sit there and go, oh, this is why I'm doing it. I'm bored. That's why I'm going to get the chips. And I'm sitting in front of TV watching a show, but this is really boring. So I'm going to go get a bag of chips to do something while I'm watching the TV show. It's like, whoa, I can't believe that. That's so interesting. That's what I want to do. Okay, so now that I know that, do I really want to eat the bag of chips? Probably not. So I'm just going to be bored. It's okay. Nothing bad's going to happen. I'm just going to be bored and watch the TV program.
But you have to think about it, and you have to
Yes.
look at yourself, look in and start to dig a little deeper than your surface level, Tracy. Come on, Tracy, what are you really about?
Yes.
And I don't
Yes.
know how
Yep.
many people, like, that's work. Back to the
It
work
is.
thing.
Because there's
It's not instant gratification.
true. Because there's 3 stages of awareness. There's the awareness that takes place after the fact. So you eat the bag of chips and you're like, oh my God, what did I do that for? Right? There's that awareness. There is the awareness that takes place halfway through. You're in the process of doing the thing, scrolling, eating, whatever. And you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? I don't want to do this. And then there is the final stage of catching yourself before it happens. And you're right, that takes work. It takes work to get to that point because most of us live in stage 1. Oh my God, I didn't want to do that. Why did I do that?
Mm-hmm.
But even asking that question is the road
Yeah.
to figuring it out.
I was just sitting here. If you go to reach for that bag of potato chips, that bottle of wine, and you say, why am I having this? What am I avoiding? Why do I feel I deserve this? If you ask yourself those 3 questions beforehand, you're already starting on your path.
Yeah.
Yep. So, what do you think about instant gratification? Put it in the comments and let us know. We would love to hear your thoughts on that. Don't forget to share this episode, subscribe to our channel, and every Wednesday is a new episode. So make sure you hit notification so you know when it's ready for you to watch. Have an amazing day.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.